What do I have here? What do I have here? Let me crack into this and we'll see what it is. I know what it is, but we're gonna see together. Alright, I've got majority of the wax out of the way, so I'm gonna find the spot and I'm gonna try to get this open. This is Brian Lewis, lewbrew, hashtag # Hayes Nation, hashtag for you young kids. So anyway, he makes his own bottle wax, so I probably just made it, probably angered it inside, but anyway, he uses hot glue sticks and candle crayons to do this. So it's a little bit easier to get into than your store-bought or the stuff you find on bottles that you buy from bottle shop, but still it's kind of a pain in the ass, which it should be because it's meant to keep your beer fresh, right? So anyway, here we go. Got it. Thought I had it. There we go. I got it out of there. So Mike Dean's had one of these. He's in a review. I'm trying to think. I think there's somebody else. Ooh, I can smell that. It's a big mother. You know what I mean? So let's pour it. It's pouring out like motor oil. And I got a little bit of wax in there, but it's all fine. Woo! Ooh, that smells like a big bitch. It's a big bitch! It smells huge. A ton of chocolate in there. There's a little bit of alcohol on that, but if I remember correctly, this thing, the original gravity going in the fermenter was, I think, 1.12 or 1.3. Ooh, that's good. It's got kind of it's carbonated, no head on it, but carbonation's bouncing off my tongue. It's got that bittersweet chocolate taste, almost like cocoa powder. Woo, woo, woo. That's a big one. That is good. That is good AF. Good and fun. A little bit of like licorice on the back end of it. Nice full mouthfeel. A whole lot of mouthfeel to it. It's not as full as I've had. Have you guys ever had the Weyerbacher Sunday morning stout? I think is what it is. That beer is probably the thickest mouthfeel beer I think I've ever had. That beer's second. I'd say this beer is probably the second fullest mouthfeel I think I've ever had in a beer. The most mouthfeel I've ever had out of a homebrew. This is crazy good. It's, you can see it, well, you guys probably can't. I can see the carbonation's coming up from the bottom. But a beer this fucking big, I think I don't know if he's got coffee in it or not. Yep, with coffee. It's 12.3%. So this thing really finished pretty high, but it's got some sweetness to it, but it's not like, oh Jesus, this is too sweet, but that's good. Usually when guys send me stouts, big beers like this, big porters, barrel-aged beers, I usually put them out in the refrigerator and I never drink them. I've got a beer by Dan Desolate. He and I were talking a couple months back. He's got a beer kind of loosely based off the Shakespeare clone, and I've got it. I think it's 5 years old now, because I don't want to drink them, because a beer, a lot of those stouts, those big stouts, I want to share them. I don't want to sit down and drink a 12% beer by myself, but that's just me. Oh, I've got two of the stouts that Nate, Under Table Nate Pico, that he did with Nate, Andrew, Elder, and Chris Nama. those collabs. So I've got 2 of those, and they're still sitting in the refrigerator. Yeah, Elder sent me one, and Nate sent me one. So, but just stupid examples like that, because I'm hoarding all these beers. I've got the mash paddle porter, barrel aged porter that I think he took second or third in the SJ Pour competition 2 years ago, I think it was. So I've got one of those beers and just sitting on it. Ooh, this is like drinking Hershey's syrup, just not as sweet as Hershey's syrup. Woo, that's good. That is fucking delicious. That would be awesome. Take another one of these, a few ounces of this, and just put it in a little saucepan and just reduce it down. Make a nice little glaze for some ice cream or something like that on it. But anyway, all right, let's get to me. I'm done fawning over this beer. But Ryan, you did outstanding, and he brews it on a Robo Brew. So he really had to put in a lot of work. I think he did 2 different mashes for this, just to try to get that ABV. So yeah, he's a hell of a job. That is awesome. That is definitely something to be proud of. So let's get to me now before I spend 20 minutes talking about how awesome this beer is. So I really don't have anything to talk about. I took a final gravity reading of my IPL-ish kind of beer. It actually is down to 1010, which that blew me away because I thought it was going to get down to about 1014-ish or so, because there's 18 ounces of oats in there, and anytime you put oats in a beer, it usually affects your final gravity, right? Well, this time it powered right through it. So it's the S23 lager, dry lager yeast. So I did that, and what my schedule. So I think I got into this last Wednesday. So I fermented it at 55 until it was about 50% attenuation, which was about 5 days. So then I cranked up the heat to 68. I didn't do the gradual heat, and let's see. So then that went on for about a week. So then Saturday I took my final gravity, and it was down to 1010, right? And it tasted pretty good. It's really good. It's got a really nice lager taste to it, but the hops are there, and the hop flavor, the aroma is there. So it's not dry hopped it. So there's one ounce of Sabra, the Ron Mexico, an ounce of Denali, and an ounce of Simcoe. So that's it. That's all of it. Let that go probably the majority of the day Saturday. Then I went ahead and cold crashed it. So now it's been sitting at 48 since Saturday evening. So yeah. So I'll probably keg that. I could probably keg it tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'll probably just let it sit and keg it Saturday or Sunday. So yeah, that's really all I've got. I mean, I think I got the pictures of that, but you guys really don't give a shit what that looks like. It's a pale yellow. It's all Pilsner. Just that 18 ounces of oats in there, and the SRM of flaked oats is not much. So it's going to be a pretty beer. Yeah. So anyway, guys, with this nifty glass, Ryan sent me beer mail. So I got that Thursday. So he sent me a Treehouse Julius, which was awesome. I think it definitely lived up to the hype. He sent me a Hillstead Farms Citra, double Citra, which was that one very good too. He sent me this glass. He sent me this beer, and he sent me a Berliner that he made. So I've got that still hanging out in the refrigerator. But this thing is pretty good. I forgot to mention, it's Tuesday night, so tomorrow is Homebrew Wednesday. Ow! See, if I don't do a one-handed pour, I don't go through all that little stuff. I miss everything. I don't do it. So now everything's whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Yeah. So maybe we'll do a one-hand pour next week. Probably will, and that'll be the IPL. I don't know, is that truly an IPL? It's about 55 IBU. It's going to end up being about just a tick under 6.5%. I think it's going to be about, if the ABV calculator, I think it said it's going to be about 6.3, 6.4%. So it's going to be a decent beer. SRM's way too light for an IPA. But you know, SRM's pretty good for a lager. So maybe, but the IBUs are too high for a lager. So it's about in that IPL range, I guess. If that's, I mean, it's not even really a real thing, is it? I mean, an IPL, it's not in the BAG anymore, or not anymore, but it's not in the guidelines. So anyway, I'm gonna ramble just because I'm an idiot. But anyway, all right, guys, this is it. I'll see you later. Oh, look at those! It's just look at all that. Just like coats the glass, thick, viscous. Just coats that got legs for days. But anyway, all right, guys. Cheers. Peace.